All right, how you doing? Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Shani.
What's this right here you have? It's
I actually am participating in Harlem Week. This is Harlem Week 2022. And what I have displayed is items that both my husband and I have made. Different feelings that we had that we wanted to put out there. And then I have here a new collection that I have developed called Get Money Generation, GMG, and Get Money Girl.
Okay, how long have this been in existence?
Ooh, things don't happen overnight. I've been doing Get Money Girl since 2005, 7. Took some hiatus, sold some merchandise, went back, and I just feel that I have the gumption now that this is a good time. So I put it out again.
Do you feel like you're a part of Harlem, what you're doing now?
I'm Harlem all day long. I was born and raised in Harlem, so yes. I don't actually live in Harlem anymore, but this is always home to me.
How do you feel with the gentrification going on that it impact Harlem and Harlem Week?
Oh my God. Actually, I don't like it. I know that it is happening whether I like it or not. I think that, we need our own community. And Harlem was a basis of that community, right? I'm working hard now. I'm part of a vendors coalition, and we're trying to keep certain parts of Harlem us. This is not something that we just decided to do. This is in our ancestry. They had markets back in Africa. This is how we did our own trade. And this is important that we have this in our community, not just for Harlem Week, but for every day, because, there's a lot of people that make their livelihood just on selling merchandise. It's
So-
a real thing.
So the demographics definitely change as far as merchant. Because I remember back in the days we used to be on 125th, and now it seems like it's only on certain days.
Well, no, there's a few handful of people that still, this is their grind, it's their hustle. So they out here regardless of what other activities may be going on. And then you got the merchants on 125th Street, the merchants on 116th Street. But really, our idea is to make sure that we keep it us, black. It's an important essence because we created this village of Harlem and what people know about Harlem to be. So it's important that we get back to that essence and they don't take this away from us. So we got to fight. We got to fight.
Is there anything else you got going on that you want to tell the people about GMG?
Well, yeah, I'm actually doing an upcoming fashion event at Times Square on September 10th. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be my relaunch. You're going to see new merchandise out. I've been in the dungeon, I'm going to say, just making some creations. So, look out for me. You're going to see a lot of things happening. My website is getmoneygeneration.com, getmoneygirl.com, and then you can follow me on all the social medias and see what I do.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, peace. This is Through Our Lens. My name is Dominic. How you doing? You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Barbara Williams, B Couture. Hi, I'm B Couture of Harlem. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing good. How long you been doing vending?
I've been doing vending. I have a boutique collection. I've been doing vending for over 15 years.
Okay.
So been doing Harlem Week forever.
Okay.
So since day one, and I love it. I love being around the community, the people. Everything is just, they show you love, so when they come, they bless me and I bless them.
Oh. You said. Okay. You said what's the name of your organization again?
Vendors.
Vendors.
Without walls.
That walks.
No, without walls.
Oh,
'Cause most
without-
vendors are out in the street, and we are not we don't have a building.
Got you.
So the new mayor is saying that he's going to try to deal with the vendors in each borough and find them. Okay, and find them a space, especially in Harlem. Okay.
Since we don't have Mart 125 anymore, right?
Oh, they're doing a feasibility study without us. The mart was supposed to be for vendors. That's why it materialized. So it's been sitting for 30 years. So the Community Board 10 is now doing a feasibility study, and we're not included.
So how do you feel about blacks not being included into the?
If it wasn't for us, nobody would be nowhere. We helped build this country, and it's unfair that they're sort of stepping on us and over us. Yes. Okay, see you later. So yeah, I'm very upset about the whole thing.
Is there anything that vendors without walls are doing to advocate that that other people can assist and help y'all support and get us a part of this board?
Right. So, yeah, we're trying to get a meeting with Adam to make sure that at least one of the vendors from our organization is sitting at that table with all the other commissioners and his assistants to talk about what you're going to do for all these vendors.
How long have you been participating in Harlem Week?
I'm 80 years old. I was born here.
Okay. Last question. This might be a little controversy. How do you feel about the gentrification and the impact that it had on Harlem and Harlem Week?
Well, I don't know exactly what's going on with Harlem Weekends on 135th Street, but gentrification has done nothing for us. You know, we've been left out. We can't even live here anymore. And if we are living here, it's probably a walk-up and drug-infested, rat-infested, mice-infested. And that's what we have to sort of live with right now. It's ridiculous.
Well, thank you so much for your honesty and your time, and your organization, once again, for people can visit it.
Vendors Without Walls, made up of most of the vendors in Harlem, and especially the ones on 125th Street.
Thank you so much for your time. Like, is an impact from gentrification that happened to Harlem, that now Harlem Week is not in its origin anymore?
I guess you could contribute to that. You know what I'm saying? But most of the cats, that the older people, that was, you know, with the artifacts and making their own jewelry and all that good stuff, they're not into it no more. You know, the generation behind them, they're not with that no more. That's what's happening. You know, so we kind of moved on, and this is what you got, corporation. They made room for the corporation coming. You go up the block, basically what's selling is food. Everybody go eat. You know what I'm saying? That's the ones that's making the money. You see people with t-shirts, you know, but like I said, no, like the jewelry over there, that's not even handmade. So that's what's up.
Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all time. God bless you.
I do it like once a year, every year, you know, and I think it's a great event because it brings out the people, and it's black owned, you know, and black folks serving black folks and helping black folks, so it's a great thing.
Do you feel like a lot of the origin have disappeared since the gentrification that happened in Harlem?
Absolutely. Since gentrification, Harlem is not Harlem. I'm from Brooklyn, you know, and I used to hang out in Harlem every day. I saw the change when Giuliani was here, and after that, once Clinton came into Harlem, it was a wrap. He's the one who actually destroyed Harlem. You have all the gentrification, you have the bougie blacks and everybody else, and the poor is left out. And the original people from Harlem is left out. You know, they're not a part of this new Harlem, and they're trying to push them out even more.
What's some of the jewelry that you got here you're selling?
Majority of the jewelry that I'm selling is Egyptian. You know, like the Ankh, the Eye of Horus, the Queen, Nefertiti, so on and so forth.
So you're representing the people in the land.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You got a website? You want to tell people, you know, about your business, where they can find some of your material?
I don't have a website, but I'm in Brooklyn on Flushing and Broadway.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right. All right, bro. What about Harlem Week today?
I love Harlem Week. I used to live in Harlem, and I love that we are always doing events that express how people in Harlem live, how they celebrate, and this is wonderful.
Do you feel like gentrification is pushing some of the elders out of Harlem?
Yes, definitely. You know, the realtors or real estate companies, you know, big real estate companies, they're trying to make money. So if they can get rid of certain elements of people and bring in high rises or more expensive apartments, you know, that's what they do.
So would you say Harlem Week from 10 years ago compared to Harlem Week in 2022, is there a huge difference that you see?
Well, the difference that I see is more of how it's controlled with the police department and etc. Far as the vendors and etc. It's still the same. You know, people come out, they celebrate, have a good time. So I enjoy it.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
All right.
How you doing? My name is Dominic, and yours?
Chip.
Chip, how you doing, Chip?
I'm well, and yourself?
How you feel about African Harlem Week today?
I love it. Born and raised in Harlem Hospital, in this and around this community, it's the greatest thing. I love it. I come back every year. I mean, I live upstate now, but every year I'm here at this weekend.
Do you see the impact of gentrification when it comes to Harlem and Harlem Week?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, most of the original residents or traditional residents have been kind of forced out because they can't afford to be here. I would love to live in Harlem where I grew up, but I could afford upstate. I can't afford Harlem. Like my cousins coincidentally have a carriage company called Carriage Streets in Harlem. I'm very proud of them because they're able to make it work in Harlem, because I know I couldn't. So it is unfortunate. So hopefully there's a politician or three that will figure something out to make it affordable for people who are from here. Who doesn't want to go back home?
Do you see any of the old handmade, handcraft items out here on the table, or is it more food and T-shirts?
It's a mix. It's not a large enough variety. There seems to be a lot more empty space than I've seen in past years. But you could contribute that to COVID and people just being worried about being clumped up and so forth. But there's a decent amount, not as much though. Traditionally over the years you would see the skills of everybody from Harlem. So there would be, if I made bags, you saw me here with my bags. If I made hats, it does seem like more people have purchased in bulk and now they're selling it than it is I made these with my bare hands.
What do you think the next 3 years going to look like for Harlem and Harlem residents, black community?
We are going to become more diverse than the community itself, which is good in one aspect because it allows those kids to interact with people from different cultures. The downside is some of the kids will lose sight of their heritage because they won't be exposed to as much unless their parents take them somewhere else.
Okay, you remember Mark 125?
I do remember Mark 125. All of my shirts have my name on it with the iron-on place all the way in the back.
So how you feel about it being closed for so long?
I think it's heartbreaking. You know, I always intended on taking my son there to go and get us matching shirts that we can get the letters and iron them on and have them press it on for you. And the fact that I couldn't do that with him was like, I mean, just going upstairs and sitting at a table and having a cup of water, you know, before you went home from school. You know, it was a staple. It was the heart of Harlem, literally.
So in the next couple of years, do you think that's going to be sold and broke down and become a chain of something, retail?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a retail space now just because of the zoning of 125th Street. So of course they'll gut it out, but it's an old enough building they may have to tear it down and put up new structure. And since it's been closed, there may be mold and warped wood and so forth. So they'd have to do something. But yeah, that staple that showed up in movies and images for decades will eventually go. It's just, unfortunately, it's the business of real estate in Harlem.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Chip.
Pleasure. All right. Take care.
Have a nice day.
Peace.
I like that connection.
How you doing, good
Good,
brother?
good. How you
Man,
doing,
I'm
bro?
all right.
Yes.
All right. My name's Dominic. Just want to say, how long you been out here vending?
In Harlem?
Yes.
I've been vending in Harlem since a little boy. So it's been a long time, over 40 years.
Ooh, 40 years?
Over 40 years.
So how do you feel about the impact that gentrification had on the vendors in Harlem?
Oh, that's a tough question. How do I feel about the impact gentrification has had on the vendors?
Well, the vending Harlem Week,
It's been a double-edged sword, really, because you have to look at gentrification. For me, is when I think more about maybe the real estate of Harlem, not necessarily the retail of Harlem. But I guess there is a correlation. I got to think about it a little more to see the correlation. But I mean, it's tough because with the gentrification, you get people with more, I would say, like spare money to spend. They got more money to spend sometimes, but that doesn't mean they're good for your community just because they can spend money here. So it's a give and take kind of thing. So
Do you see a lot of the handmade jewelry vendors more or less since the time?
Well, that's something else. Me and a friend had a conversation about. You see less creativity now because everything is about, in my opinion, it's about designer. You know, so you get a lot of things that just bought downtown, imported by the Chinese or the Arabs or, you know, another foreign class of people and then brought to Harlem and resold. You know, when Harlem was usually known for being innovators, creatives, we had people who, you know, came up with their own designs, their own clothing and made and produced them here. It's less of that now. And I think it's just because it's harder to sell it. So we took a big hit about the creativity.
So is it less blacks supporting each other?
When you say black, that's a broad term. You mean like
Black Americans.
I think it's just less black Americans. We've been replaced. If you see, they're bringing people from all these other diasporas. It's like you know what I mean, got a lot of brothers and sisters from the continent, from all throughout the world, and I think they're just really trying to replace us because we have a hell of a claim to this community, to this land. So, in my opinion, they're looking to replace us with a lot of other quote-unquote black people. I mean, it's not any shade, but you can see what's going on.
Definitely. You got a website, people can visit your website or something like that, social media platform?
They could check us out on Doha NYC, that's my Instagram, you know, and shout us out at a festival near you.
Thank you so much for your time, good brother.
Thank you, I appreciate it.